Okay. Okay. So this was the point of discussion where we were trying to understand long range order and the short range order. So in the crystalline, we find long range order means what? From the beginning to the end. So through, that is called long range. So entire structure is same type of arrangement is maintained. So that is called a regularity. Even in the case of study also, if you maintain regularity in the long run, whether it is June to end, so it will give a good result. So always long run regularity will give a good result. Only during exam time, if I revise everything in 1 month, so it gives a kind of pressure. So on a particular student. So therefore, let us not take the pressure or the tension or the anxiety. So from the day one, if you start till the end, so this is called long, long run preparations or long term preparations. All those same word is used here also. So in the crystalline, it is the long range order, whereas in the amorphous, it is the short range. In the beginning, okay, again not okay, okay, not okay. So all this will you see at the microscopic level in the structure of what amorphous solids. Okay, right. So now the same picture you can visualize in this way also. Okay, so this is you see regular arrangement. So first one line of arrangement, then on that between the two atoms, one atom is sitting. Okay, so like that one order is there. Again the one order. So A pattern followed by the B. It is a AB pattern. So one particular pattern is maintained in the crystalline structure. Whereas in amorphous, you see two particles are joined together. One line, the third has come here, and all together four here. Now this is four is here. This four. You see some small gap is there here, and here six have joined together. So that means regularity is less here. So that's why they are soft. They fall. They merge. I told. So that's why they look very soft. When we touch them, we feel very softness. Okay, but here crystals, roughness, edge, all those we feel when we touch it. Hmm? Okay. So one more way of understanding. So there are different way of understanding how is the arrangement of particles in the crystalline and in the amorphous. Okay. So three ways we are understanding. See, this is one way. So all the corners are in between. So everywhere correctly maintained. Okay, distance you see, regularity. But here you see one is here, one is here, angle, some different angle, some different pattern. Okay, this is small. This is same four in this way, same four in this way. So that means same what I can explain. I am explaining the same thing in different way of understanding. Okay, so that we will clearly differentiate between what are crystalline and what are amorphous. You see this pattern. This is done using the spectroscopical studies. So the spectroscopy used was X-ray diffraction. Hmm. So using the X-ray techniques. So graphically also they have checked. You can see in the crystalline some pattern is maintained. This is the best pattern because even in our human body also our heartbeat, if you check, using the what is it, ECG machine, you will find such variations. This is the best variations. If this is there on the graph, electrocardiograph, ECG, so he is a healthy person. If this type of arrangement is there in the body, heart, oh, that means heart is not healthy. And if it is flat, we are died, death. Okay. So from the machine, so same single line is seen in the ECG or all those medical instruments. So this is the best in the nature, and this we find only in the crystalline structure. Okay, so crystallines are the best in structure wise and graphically everything from every angle you will understand. But ultimately, crystalline long range order, whereas amorphous no long range order or the short range order. So graphically proved, spectroscopically proved, structure proved, everything is proved, so that we are what at a comfortable position to understand what are crystalline, what are amorphous. And this is the textbook table. So where difference between the crystalline and the amorphous is given. So kindly go through. I already explained everything. Okay. So cleavage property, that is cut property. Okay. So you can cut easily amorphous. Okay. But to cut the crystalline, you can cut at a particular angle because the arrangement is there. No. So where gap is there, you can cut it. So when in the case of amorphous, they are very soft. You can cut from any angle. Hmm? So that is the meaning of cleavage, melting point. Because of a different structure, they have a sharp melting point, correct melting point. Okay, whereas amorphous, so they gradually melt, depend upon the arrangement. So then again they start boiling. Hmm. So they start melting. So all these will happen in the case of what amorphous. So kindly go through. Only one difference is what anisotropic and isotropic, that we'll discuss separately. Okay. So this you go through textbook table. So now we'll come to this point. I told you the main point where in what way they differ. So in the isotropic and the anisotropic. Okay. So isotropy, anisotropy. Okay, right. Isotropy is made from the two words iso and the tropy. Iso means what? We have heard no isomer. Huh? So then isomerism, isotrope. Okay, all those words isoelectronic species. Many in the many occasions we have heard this iso word. Similar, equal, same, like that. It gives meaning. Tropy means what? Some kind of arrangement here in the Greek literature if you go. So that means what? It is the same arrangement, it is the equal arrangement in a particular direction. So that is what isotropy. Hmm? And if it is not there, it is the opposite of isotropy. Hmm? So metal, non-metal, okay, appear, disappear, isotropy, anisotropy. So anisotropy is what? Opposite of isotropy. Means whatever in the isotropy it is there, it is quite opposite. That becomes what? An isotropy. So you can put one hyphen or a dash between an isotropy, or as a single word you can use it. Okay. So some solids are isotropic in nature, and some solids are anisotropy or anisotropic. Some will say it is a anisotropic or anisotropic. Okay. So what does it mean actually? Hmm? Isotropic and anisotropic are two important terms widely used to explain the material properties in material science, solids especially. Okay, and crystal morphology. So morphology word is more you might have heard in the biology. Okay, so there it is a biological morphology. Here it is a chemical morphology. Okay, so crystal morphology is structure part. Okay, so in basic crystallography. So crystallography is a big branch in chemistry where we learn about the crystals only. Okay, only about the crystals. So that is called as what? Crystallography. Separate books are written on the crystallography by the many eminent authors. Okay, that will not a part now discussion. It is a higher class. So in certain materials like crystals, the orientation of atoms is very important as it affects their physical and mechanical properties. It is the arrangement of the particles. It is the arrangement of the atoms. Okay, it is the arrangement of the species. They will decide the some properties, and they will affect the property also. So based on the orientation of atoms, materials are broadly divided into two classes, namely isotropic materials and the anisotropic materials. But the main difference between these two class of materials are what? In what? Uh, Isotropic materials are the same in all directions, whereas in anisotropic materials the properties are direction dependent. Hmm. Means in the isotropic materials, because of their regular arrangement, so if you see from particular direction, no, particular pattern is obtained. Particular pattern is obtained. Hmm. So therefore, they are isotropic in nature, whereas in the anisotropic that is not there. Okay. So what is isotropy? Equal properties, equal direction, same property. So this property we will have where in the case of amorphous, because amorphous they don't have regularity. Okay, so due to regularity, so whether you measure a particular property of amorphous, they will be same, because regular irregular that is maintained throughout. So there is no particular pattern we obtained in a particular direction, whereas in the case of crystalline structure, so particular pattern is obtained in a particular direction. Okay, so because of that property differs. So that's why they are what anisotropic or anisotropic. So crystalline materials are the crystalline solids. They are anisotropic in nature or anisotropic in nature because of what? Because of a particular pattern we get in a particular direction, that is understood from next slide. So again here same point is explained in different way. So isotropy means uniformity in all directions. Isotropy means having identical values of physical properties such as Ri, electrical conductance in all directions. Okay, so isotropy is the property of amorphous solids. I told you, no. So because irregularity is there, so you will have same property. Now, anisotropy means what? Or anisotropy is what? Anisotropy means non-uniformity in all directions. So anisotropy is the property which depends on the direction. Okay, direction dependent. Hmm. So they show different values of physical properties when measured along a particular direction. This is there with the crystalline solids because of this. Now this is the important slide. Hmm? So please here. So this is what? Crystalline. This is what? Amorphous. You see the crystalline long range order is maintained. Okay, regular arrangement is maintained. But because of the regular arrangement, now you concentrate only on the AB line. Only on the AB line. So when you concentrate on the AB line, you see this side and this side. One pattern is, what is the pattern here? So blue, 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 red, 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 red. One pattern is there, no? Okay. So along the AB line. So when you measure some property along this direction, so depend upon the arrangement of this four red one inside a blue, or all the blue one line, all the red one line. So between two blue, two red in this. So one pattern is there here along AB. Okay. But now you concentrate on the CD line. CD line. Okay. So when you consider CD line, what you can see? First red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. So R between the two, three triangular red, one blue. So that means along CD, one pattern we see. So depending upon this pattern, property you can measure it. So that's why property changes. So that's why they are not same. So anisotropy. Okay. So that means anisotropy and the isotropy is understood only on the structure part. Okay. From the arrangement part. Okay. But here you see amorphous. So it is a chaotic mixture of regular, irregular. So if whether you go in this way, like AB way same, no, same is there. Left hand right also is there. There's no particular pattern is maintained here. Okay. Yeah, in the now you can measure the property in the CD also. How we have measured here. So here also same. This also same. This is also same. That means the arrangement what you see from CD direction and from AD direction it is the same. No different pattern. Here the pattern is different. Okay, so that's why they are what? Isotropic, same equal direction. So same direction is the same pattern we get if you measure from in direction. So because of the same direction, same pattern, properties are same. So isotropy, same property, equal direction. Okay, so amorphous solids are isotropic in nature, whereas the crystallines are anisotropic in nature. This can be clearly understood the microscopic level of this slide. Okay, right. Now these are examples for crystalline solids. Many examples are there. I have brought some example, and the best example is diamond. Okay, and these are examples for amorphous. Okay, so butter, rubber, glass, wax. So very soft. They are all soft. So they are all amorphous solids. Okay. Now, after classifying solids into crystalline and amorphous, now we will not go to the amorphous area. Now onwards, maximum explanation is on the crystalline only. Okay. So the entire chapter is what? About the crystalline. Little here idea about the amorphous. So we learn almost 90 to 95% about the crystalline only. Therefore, so let us classify. Let's make the crystalline solids easy. So first what? We will classify crystalline solids. Okay. So depend upon the structure, depend upon the arrangement of particles inside the solids, especially the crystalline solids. So once again, they are classified further, classified into ionic solids, metallic crystalline solids, cold crystalline solids, molecular crystalline solids. Okay, so it is structure, it is the force, it is the thermal energy. They decide all these crystalline solids. Okay, right. So one by one, RMC will discuss. Ionic solids, best example ionic compounds. Okay, NaCl, cesium chloride, zinc sulfide. Okay, all these are formed because of what? A transfer of electrons. So they will have a particular pattern arrangement that is called lattice. Okay, so regular arrangement of particles in 3D is called as lattice. So they have a structure, special structure that is called lattice, and the energy required to make that lattice is called lattice enthalpy. This already we learnt in the thermodynamics of 11th class. Okay, so they have the definite arrangement. So they all come under the ionic solids. So in these ionic solids, the force holding them is what? Coulombic force of attraction. Okay, it is a electrostatic Coulombic force of attraction, because one is a cation, one is anion. So attractive force holds, and they'll go for a particular definite geometry, that is crystal shape is maintained. So depend upon the shape, we can name it as a cube, cuboid, all those face centered, body centered, all those we learn in our next forthcoming sessions. Okay, so these are what? Any solids, force is Coulombic force of attraction. Yeah. Now next one, ionic solids. Okay, already over ionic solids. It's okay. Now one more. Now this. So crystal structure of ionic solids. The ions are held together in a closely packed, perfect 3D pattern. Okay, and that is called what? Lattice, crystal lattice. I told already. And each ion is surrounded by a definite number of ions of opposite charge, and this number is known as what? Coordination number. That means in the crystal structure of ionic compounds, ionic solids, we find plus ion is attracting the minus ion, and the minus ion in turn attracts the what? Plus ion or the cation, but there is a one pattern is maintained. So one particular cation is surrounded by definite number of anion, and one particular anion is surrounded by a definite number of cations. So that number is called the what? Number is called as a coordination number. So what is coordination number? Coordination number is the number which gives an idea that around a particular cation, how many anions are there. That is called coordination number of a particular ion, and that is maintained throughout the structure. Okay, so we will see the structure part later. Okay, and one particular unit is there, a small unit, that is called as the unit cell. For example, in the wall, so in the wall, one structure is it is rectangular shape wall. But if when you see the wall structure, zoom it, there are inside some bricks are there. So that brick is what? One small unit. Okay. So the small same unit is repeated in a different pattern. So one brick or the other brick. So we can make a rectangular shape or a rhombus shape. So but that brick is called as the basic unit of structure. In the same way, in the crystal structure, ionic solids, one small cell is there, that is called unit cell. So same cell are repeated many times. That is the main structure. Okay, that is the main structure for ionic solid. Okay, that you find in the case of water, ionic solids. Best example is sodium chloride. You see here, sodium chloride. So the black one is sodium, and the white one is water, chloride. So if you see, this is surrounded by one chlorine here. Okay, this is another chlorine, another chlorine, another chlorine, and on the top also one structure comes from this one small area I have taken. So on the top also one chlorine. So here the coordination number of this sodium is what? 6. You will find around 1 sodium, 6 chloride. Okay, so out of 6, here 1 is there, 2 is there, 3 is there, 4 is there, 5 is there, 6 is above. You have to keep one more what cuboid on this. That gives you the all 6 chlorine around one particular sodium, and this will repeat. So therefore, coordination number of sodium in this structures NaCl is 6. Okay, so all this we can see, and here you can take one small area. Okay, this is a big area, so you can concentrate on this. So one line here, second line, third line, fourth line, and for this one more line, this here. So this one small cube. Okay, you concentrate. This is called basic unit cell. Okay, so this unit will repeat many times. One unit in the front, one back, one side, one this side, one above, one beside, one again behind. So same unit will repeat. So this is called as the unit cell. Okay, so this unit cell will repeat in a different pattern, and big structure is made of NaCl. For an example, like that many unit cells are there. So where you find similar. So this is one unit cell. So one more example, one particular pattern is made unit cell that repeats. Okay, so triangular repeats. And square repeats, rectangular repeats, cube repeats, cuboid repeats. So one particular unit is made that repeats many times. That gives the main structure. Okay, right. Now see zinc chloride, here. So this is the one unit and surrounded by many other units. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Coordination number of this is what? 4. So depend upon this one unit cell. Like that, many you can combine and make a main structure for the zinc sulfide. Now second category what? Metallic solids. So metals, sodium metal, potassium metal, iron metal, copper metal. There what you find? So sodium to sodium, sodium to sodium. In the gold, gold to gold, gold to gold. So there are some linkages. Okay. So those linkages are called as what? Metallic force. Because in the metals, we find what are metals as per the electronic theory? Metals are the one which gives electron easily. That means we find some free electrons, okay, mobile electrons or moving electrons. So delocalized electrons are found in the metallic structure, because in one mole of a particular sample, 1 mole of gold or 1 mole of sodium, we find many free electrons, and they are called what? Ocean of electrons, sea of electrons. Okay, so all those are called mobile electrons. They keep moving, and because of these free electrons which are moving, so they are the best conductors. All those properties are explained on the mobility of electrons. Okay, so the force which is holding two metallic atoms, sodium, gold, silver, aluminum, that is what? Metallic force, and the bond is called what? Metallic bond. Okay, metallic bond is not there for our syllabus, but now I am saying, so it is the force, it is the bond, that is the metallic bond between the two atoms. So one nucleus will have attraction of the other electrons, and the other nucleus this will continue in the network. So that is called metallic bond or the metallic force which is holding them. So in the previous case, which was force was holding, it is electrostatic force, but in this case it is the metallic force holding. Okay, see for example, this is the structure of what? Sodium. Hmm? So sodium structure, simple cube, body centered cube, all those examples we can learn in the later discussions. Okay, so this is what a sodium structure. Now aluminum structure differs. Okay, so this is a microscopic level of the aluminum structure. Now third category, covalent solids. So in the covalent solids, the force is what? The force is covalent force. They go for sharing of electrons. So they share in like anything. So sharing is what it is a it will extend. So most of the covalent compounds are very big: diamond, graphite, polymers. Okay, so biomolecules we have seen, no, in the biomolecules chapter. So where covalent bond is there. So this is a very big network. Okay, so that's why, so they are held together by a strong force of electrons only. That is called covalent force, which is holding them tightly, and this tight force extends throughout the structure. So they are very strong. That we can see in the diamond. So graphite also. Graphite, why soft though covalent bond is there? It is due to again structure part. So in the structure where a layer is there, we learnt in the 11th class, though layer will slide over each other. So that's why it looks, otherwise it comes into the crystalline compound. So it's a crystalline solid. See, some crystallines are softer, some crystalline solids are the hard. Again depends on what structure part. Okay. One more is the what? Silicon carbide. So it is called as carborundum in the chemistry, now common name. So this is also hard like a diamond only. So because of hardness, silicon carbide is made use in making the artificial diamonds, because natural diamonds are very costly, because of the process is very costly in extracting from the earth crust. So therefore nowadays we are going for the artificial diamonds by using the silicon carbide combination or the graphite carbon combinations. All those we learn in the higher class. Okay, they are called artificial diamonds. Only thing is, we have to take to the laboratory to check whether the diamond we are purchasing in the shops, whether it is artificial or natural, through refractive index. All those techniques are there. So those techniques we have to take in the quality control department. So then only they will say this is the natural diamond, then you go for the purchase. Otherwise, in most of the cases we find artificial diamonds, but people are liking. It looks like a diamond, and it is a damn cheap also. So that's why they go for the silicon carbide combination. So all those comes under what? Covalent force. Okay. So they are very hard. Yeah. Now you see diamond structure. Already you have seen tetrahedral structure. And covalent. This is the properties of covalent structure. So they have the high melting point, high heat, because what? Strong force of covalent structure. And next to what? Molecular solids. Okay, so they occur as molecules. They occur as molecules. In the molecules, so between the molecules we find van der Waals force or dispersion force. So force is very weak. So that's why, so they are not so strong. P4, they are a powder, solid powder. Hmm. They occur as a semi-solid. They occur as a wax. Okay, all those. Hmm. So that's why they are called what? Molecular solid. And we, what is the force here? Weak force is weak force of van der Waals force of attraction. Hmm. Yeah. Now molecular solids, their characteristics what? So they are soft in nature. They have the low boiling point compared to the covalent and the ionic. Okay, so their conductivity is also less. So generally they are less dense. So less density, low density. So all those are properties because of what? Arrangement. Okay, so today what we learnt, what is meant by solid state and what are the properties and crystalline and the amorphous. In that main properties what? Isotropy and anisotropy or anisotropy. And afterwards classification of crystalline into four category, and in general understanding of the four different categories. So this completes the first part of what? Solid state, introductory part. Now the main part starts from tomorrow, that is next session, where we learn about the unit cell, the arrangements, although how they pack so closely. So any gap is there, how much gap is there. So all that we learn in our next session. So till then, keep studying and have a nice time. So thank you, my dear students. Special thanks to Chaitanya and Vaishnav, so for being with me, so that they can allow others to join. In the meantime, how much they can understand. Okay, so please go through the textbook part, so that you will make a concrete idea about the solid state, which is very easy chapter. Only thing is understand what we discuss and go through the textbook. Okay, so till then, have a nice time and thank you and all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Vaishnav. Thank you.